And the camera's rolling. We now have a live video feed. Hi, welcome to another episode of Craziness at Pappy's House. With me, best get. See if we can get Gigi in there. What, wrong way? No, wrong way. She's over there somewhere. There's my wife. Hi, say hi.
Hi.
Where's Daisy? Stop, girl, stop. Come here, Daisy. Come on. Yeah, Daisy's Connie's dog. Biscuit's my dog. That's why Biscuit's over here by me. And Daisy's over there by Connie. They have their favorites. Stop. It's just us. Nobody else is here. So, anyways, it's February 14th, 2021. Connie and I have celebrated our 39th anniversary together. And we started talking about our time together. Excuse me. I get a little cough at night with these my allergies and stuff. So sometimes I gotta run the vaporizer and get rid of it. Anyways, so we were talking, and we were talking about the day we got married. Connie, the night before we left to go get married,
Yeah.
do you remember what we had to do? What I had to do
You had to fix the water pump.
on your car?
Yes.
Because we had each had a car, and we decided Connie's was the better car, but she had a leak in the water pump. So that Friday night, out in the dark, at my parents' house, because that's where all the tools were at, I had to take a car over there and change the water pump after working the swing shift. Or did I work a double shift that day?
I don't remember.
I think I worked a double. That's why I had to get over there so late. Like midnight when I got started. After midnight when I got off. So like 1, 2 in the morning. So I got done. Went over to my dad's house, did it. From there we went home. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning, probably 3:30 in the morning. It was really not that hard to change a water pump on a what was that, Plymouth Bobcat? A Mercury Bobcat.
Mercury.
And got it done, went home, cleaned up, tried to grab a couple hours sleep before we took off the next day to go to Vegas. So we went to Vegas, and that was the first time that I had driven that route, and we had to go through Buckeye, and I believe we went through Grand because I-10 didn't go through, or did go through all the way, didn't it? I don't remember, but we went out through Grand and out to Buckeye. Took Buckeye to Vegas, or actually it wasn't Buckeye. It was called something else. We took it up to the 40, and we took 40 across to Vegas. So, and we got there in the afternoon, and we got a hotel room. Jump in anytime, Connie. Help me out here.
We got a room. We went down to get our license.
That's right. It was still February 13th because we were getting married on the 14th. And Connie had reserved a chapel down on the strip called the Candle, the Light, something with the candle. I don't remember.
Do what with the candle?
What was the name of that chapel we got married in?
Little Chapel of the Flowers.
Little Chapel of the what?
Flowers.
Flowers. And so we got our license, and we came out of the city hall there. We got our marriage certificate, and Connie said, "Hey, this is the street that our chapel's on. So why don't we go down and check out our chapel for tomorrow?" And I said, "Okay." So we started walking, not realizing that it wasn't a couple blocks.
It was 17 blocks.
17 blocks. And, you know, we grew up in Arizona. We drive everywhere. We don't walk. So we're walking along, and suddenly, after about the 4th block, I began to realize that we're in for a long walk. And we didn't know the bus system down there, and it was late at night. I say late. It's probably like 7 o'clock at night. It was dark. And we're walking, and I noticed these oleander bushes to the right of us. And I thought, man, that's a great place for somebody to jump out and rob us. So we kept walking by, and then I heard a rustle behind us. And I glanced around behind us, and I saw a guy had jumped out of the bushes and was following us at that point. So I told Connie, I said, hey, take my hand, which she gladly did. I was cute and strong. And I said, don't look, but get ready to run. She goes, look where, why? And she turned around, stared at the guy for a second. I said, don't do that. Get ready to run now. And we ran across the street and we took off running down the road. And he jumped back into the bushes. He realized we'd gotten away. So that was the first time I realized that when you have a problem, the first thing you don't tell somebody is don't look because they're going to look right away. They're going to do it. They can't help themselves. And so we kept on going. We got down there okay after that. But when we got down to the chapel, they had booked us for late that evening, and we were supposed to be booked for in the morning. And Connie was upset, and they were like, "Well, we're sorry, but you're booked." And Connie said, no, "I made sure that I told you it was the a.m. and you said okay. Now you're telling me it's the p.m. and our friends and family are going to be gone by then. So what are you going to do to fix this?" They said, "You know what? Just show up. Just show up. We'll squeeze you in." And that's when I began to realize the rumors I'd heard about Vegas being a marriage mill were true. So, anyways, we go, get ready to go home, and I told Connie we're taking the bus back. I kind of know where we're going to go. We're not walking past that guy again. So we got on the bus and we rode back close to our hotel, and we got off and went inside, cleaned up, went to bed, got up the next morning, and we're kind of excited and a little antsy about it. Uh, Connie was a widow from her first marriage. She doesn't divorce people, she buries them. And me, I had divorced my ex wife for, if you know me, you know the story. If you don't know me, I'm not going to tell you the story here. That's not what this is about. Anyways, so we met our friends. We went in family. We went down to the chapel, and Connie had two of her closest girlfriends there, and her mom and her stepdad. Did any of your siblings come?
No,
Okay, they weren't there.
I don't think.
My
They
parents,
might have. I don't remember.
my parents didn't come. Um, they were they stayed home and they were watching our kids. Connie had a daughter from her first marriage, and I had Michael from my first marriage. So they were watching them, and that was their excuse not to come. To be honest with you, this is kind of a touchy point with me and my parents. They don't. My mom's dead now, so no big deal. And dad, we don't discuss it because it gets ugly quick. But it is what it is. So uh, we got married. Uh, the reason we got married, we were waiting for our turn, and they didn't really know how they were going to schedule us in. And then all of a sudden, uh,
To get married.
to get married, and all of a sudden this taxi shows up, and he walks up and he goes inside and says, and we heard him say, uh, "The girl's gone. She checked. The hotel says she checked out and went home, or at least left, and nobody knows where she is." And the groom went nuts. He couldn't believe he'd been left at the altar. And we looked at each other like, cool, we're going in. So one guy's misfortune made another person's day work out really well. Um, it was funny because there was a guy there wearing a purple top hat and tuxedo with a cane and tails, and he was walking around a bit like a clown. And I thought, good grief, do people not realize what they look like when they get married? I mean, come on, have a little style. I mean, and to be honest with you, I had a brown tuxedo. I didn't have a black tuxedo or a white tuxedo, but I had a brown tuxedo, and that was the style of the day. And I look back at myself like I should have been a little bit better with how I dressed. I should have got a little more style. Fortunately, by the time my daughter got married or my stepdaughter got married, I had gotten a black tuxedo, so I looked a little bit better. Um, Connie and I were both laughing because I had hair back then, had a bit of an afro going on. That thing's long gone. Uh, we had a good time. Uh, her parents left. Her friends went with us over to the casino. We gambled for about 20, 30 minutes. And I don't like losing money. I don't like gambling because I work too hard for what I make, and I didn't want to give my money away. So we went back to the hotel room. We consummated the wedding and the marriage, and
Cleaned up.
cleaned up, passed out, and then woke up to go out for dinner. And we went to this really nice seafood restaurant there in Vegas. I don't remember the name of it. I just know it was a nice restaurant. We went in there and we sat down at the table, and the waiter was really awesome. And there was this couple that was fighting, and they were fighting. Um, I don't know what they were fighting about, but he was making it pretty clear that he's screwing up his time. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you're screwing up ours. And it's one of those deals where do you say something? Do you not say something? They'll go away quicker if you don't say something. Do I want to make a scene? I just got married. And I don't want to get kicked out of a restaurant. I don't want to be an ass in front of my wife, but I want her to think I'm manly. So I didn't know what to do. I just sat there for a while and watched what happened. And they played out their little argument. And I believe she left, didn't she?
I think so.
Yeah, she got up and left, and he finished out the meal in quiet. And so dinner went on great for us. We had a good time. I had lobster. Connie, I think, had a steak, and we had went back to dinner, and we consummated the marriage again.
Would
And
you stop?
we we passed out. We were tired.
That's too much information.
It's been a long time. So, anyways, got up the next day, and we were going to California. The plan was to do Universal Studios, Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, um, and just kind of hit it all in a matter of like 3 or 4 days and stay in a hotel room. Well, we stopped in to visit my dad's closest friend, and they were insistent that we stay at their house and said, "Don't worry about coming in, talking to us. Just save the money in the room, and you can spend more stuff, money when you're out doing things." And it took me about 20 minutes to finally come around to and say, "Okay, if my wife will do it, we'll stay." So my wife said, "Okay, if you're comfortable enough here with them, we'll do it." So we did, and took off the next day. And guess who caught the flu? Not Connie. So we ended up doing a ride, resting, 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 doing a ride, resting. This went on for a full day. Next day, got up and well, I think the first day was Universal Studios because I'd never been there before, and I'd been to the other places before. So I wanted to do that one first. So then we went and did Disneyland, and we did um, Knott's Berry Farm, and then we kind of took a day off just to hang, and we came home. And yeah, I was pretty sick. By the time we got home, Connie had caught the flu from me, and so we were both pretty sick. So I had to call my parents up and say, "Can you keep the kids for 3 or 4 more days?" Because
No, we went and got them.
no, we didn't. We left them with my parents. Yeah, huh? I'm the one that made the call. So they kept them, and then we got well enough to go get them, and then I was well enough to go back to work, although I still felt crappy, and that's how we started our marriage. And is that when the breakers blew up? Or was that later
No,
on?
that was later.
Okay. So, anyways, I just thought I'd share that story about Connie and I's on our anniversary, how we got together, or how we sealed the deal 39 years ago in Vegas. All right. Thanks. Bye bye.